Hello, people. Welcome back. Oh, yeah, that's a good way to start. Love this loading screen. Yeah, nothing sinister about that. God, I actually don't. This might have been a more recent screen because, if I remember correctly, this wasn't around when I first started playing the game. I don't remember seeing that until like a year ago or so. One thing I actually commend Failbetter for doing was I mean, obviously the game was out in early access since I don't know, like 2014 approximately, but they kept developing this thing. They didn't stop. Anyway, I decided to end here because we now have a very special one. Wait, first of all, okay, I can never remember if I pick up one of these things or not. But we are getting a visit from Mr. Sachs, one of the masters, one of the many masters of the Bazaar. All the masters are Mr. something. Midnight. A presence dominates your lodgings. Its fur-trimmed robe is the red of blood on snow. Over your chair hangs a familiar brown sack, bulging with offerings. Londoners give generously to the crimson beast of winter. Anything to be rid of it. The figure stares into the fireplace, smelling of soft musk and harsh ammonia. I require a sturdy vessel and a captain. Yours comes recommended. You will suffice. Mr. Sachs, take my services. Yeah, it's a play on how whenever Mr. Sachs shows up in Fallen London, there's always Mr. Sachs, take my something. And then whatever that thing is, take my story, take my money. Shut up and take my money, Mr. Sachs. I guess I'm doing it. I think this will be okay. Actually, you know what? You'll be able to accept this contract at a later time if you're choosing. Yeah, let's do it. Ancient contract. Words not to be spoken lightly. A deal is struck. The beast withdraws its hand from the fireplace, examining it. Packed locker, neath snow. It disappears back into the back into the incarnadine robe. 3 delivers. By your release. Do not tarry. You've much to lose. We are in his service. Oh, excellent. Sure, I need to read the papers, as usual. Woohoo! Gained 1 supply. I am going to rest, and I lost one of my menaces, one of my wounds. Excellent, and I have a restful night. That'll help against the nightmares. Fun times. Oh wow, it looks like I could have bought a house. Let's try, Corrosin. Yay! Sea shanties, fine food, and the warmth of a pub fire. And something more. The likely lass, of course. Don't think I came down to the docks just to see you. I got business here. But alright, it did cross my mind that you might drop by. Share warmth, new memories. It's hard to say goodbye this time. Aww. And also, let's see. I think I checked this last time, actually. Yeah, I need a doctor or I need a cook. Cooks are actually fairly rare. I'm not like rare, but I mean, you don't find them that often, considering. Oh yeah, hunting trophy? From what? Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter. Well, that's good. Where's it gonna go? Oh, yeah, shops, maybe? What do I have in the hold at the moment? Alright, these I can pretty much just sell whenever. These, same thing. That's important. I need food as well. Damn. Sure, let's sell some of that. Sell this, and sell this. Perfect. And if I'm going by, what's that place called? I might as well pick up. If I'm going by the mountain, if I'm going by hell, I might as well pick up some of that. Is that really it? Yeah, I guess so. Alright. Where to next? Oh yeah, I guess I should... The first delivery. The Crimson Beast of Winter lurks in your hold. This is not a healthy situation for you, your ship, or your crew. The first delivery. The creature calls to you. It is time to begin. A hunger that can never be satisfied. Mr. Sachs is waiting, clutching what looks like a leg of lamb. The meat is rotten. The bone is well chewed. Fool sought the name that devours. It devoured him. Lifetime's wealth, wasted on cravings that will never be satisfied. When all was eaten, he stripped the hunger from his fingers in search of solace. Still the hunger gnawed and screamed in his belly. He thought his pitiful offering of poison might free him. Debts are not so easily paid. Oh my god. So I have to deliver it to Pigmote or Con? I think I'm gonna go to Pigmote just because it's closer and I know where it is. But before that, should I go south? I might as well. I have a ton of fuel at this point, and I got nowhere else really to go. Oh wait, no, that's right. I have to go to the I have to go to Polythreme. Okay, we're heading west or east. Sorry, toward what do you call it? Oh, how did? How, okay. Actually, oh wait, no, I need a Clayman. Okay, so I'm going to Polythreme anyway. For this guy, I need a doctor. For this guy, I believe... What do I need? Oh yeah, I need to go to Demo Island, for those who forgot. That's the three crew members and what they all need. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. I am tired. Okay, actually, that was fast. Guess I'm turning around. Sorry about this, but I'm a father, apparently. It's actually really nice having a kid in this game. It means that when you die, you can choose 2 legacies, which is always nice. Excellent. Wow. Fuck, I just realized I can't do that. Sorry. Because if I go back there, the same thing that happened the last time when I died is going to happen now, and I'm going to get killed by the blind bruiser. Shoot. Okay, well, that was a mistake I hope I don't have to pay too hard for. Alright, I'll just go straight. Is this the Corsair's Forest? I think it is. Yeah. That's weird. Oh god. You cannot evade its gaze. A black, unsleeping taste. Again and again you're alone on the wide black sea. The eye is aware. That's not a nice thing to get. Here we are. I might as well seriously. Okay. Holy crap. Okay, if you guys remember this one. Crawling stars. So with the stars, sorry I went through that really quickly. 3 of the full stars wink out altogether, as suddenly as close eyes. Pattern that reigns hopeless and meaningless as cast dice. Oh jeez. Next time, just eyes on deck. The errant lute. Oh good, strategic information. There we go. Ridden, your generous soul. You'll have your reward the other side of the river one day. And here's your little reward for you now. Good luck sailing to you. The report is barely legible. Perhaps it's part of the code. The Admiralty will know. God. Oh, fuck. You're eavesdropping on the captain of a lean black cutter when her first mate spots you. In the ensuing, fracas, one of your crew is smashed through the flimsy wooden wall. He falls 200 feet to be impaled on a smaller stalagmite in the shadow of the morn and dies instantly. It's a painless death, but his slowly mummifying corpses will hang there for decades to come. Ships will salute it. Successive generations of children will name it, rename it, fling stones, dare each other to climb up to the pinnacle and kiss its fleshless hand. Well, at least I got a port report, and more terror to go along with it. I'm not going to explore them more. Like I said, bad stuff happens here. Oh, and Bigmont Isle is directly north of me, so I might as well. Alright, here we go. I'm just gonna drop Mr. Sachs and his purchase off at Pigmoat, and hopefully I'll be on. Oh wait, no, he said that's the first delivery. Might as well. Hunger that can never be satisfied. Pigmoat's stored food diminishes quickly. Hungry rats and cabbies stare at each other, a new glint passing from eye to eye as the cravings and stomach pain spread. They stop as you to watch you in silence. You go past, mouths salivating, in the middle of the small town. A few of the hungriest begin taking the bell. Dear God, maybe I should have brought the consort. I'm not gonna help them resolve a dilemma. I have 6 spirit, 3 civilization. The aid takes you to the coast, where the huts still smolder from the last pirate attack. Those beastly raiders keep coming for our precious Shintelek. It squeaks, shaking a paw in impotent furry rage. How can we protect our shores, hairless advisor? Suggest they raise conscription. It'll be unpopular, but safety must come first. Or recommend they accept the loss. Shintelak. I love how I had it before, and now I just lost again. Shintelak harvesters will have to work harder to make up the shortfall. Advise an attack on their stronghold. Ooh, no. Safety must come first. I apologize. Sorry, Spirit. Alright. Let's push off again. Actually, do they sell anything? No? What is kind of interesting, and I know this is a new addition, they used to have it so you could, whenever you visited here after resolving the dilemma, depending on which side you chose, you could either get hull or basically like food and supplies. And if you chose the cavies, they would give you supplies, and also terror. They would introduce terror. And if you chose the rats, they definitely provide you with. They fix your hull, and I think they might have even what he calls it. Oh, I'm near the salt lines. Let's not engage him. Corvettes are fast. Here we are. The salt lines. Always an interesting place to visit. Always is. If I had more cargo hold, I would definitely pick up some stuff, because that's a good way to both get a bunch of money really quickly and unlock a nice story after. So I need to go find Polythreme. Zealand. The good news is there's no penalty for using the Z-Mat. Yeah, we're in the east. You notice how you can actually see what's underwater here? And you can actually see, not just around the lights, but just in general, it looks like a little more. Yeah, I love how dark the water becomes in some areas, though. Oh god. Rat Sea. I know where we are. Remember that, Lauren Fluke that we found earlier? Here's where the other place we could have delivered it is. Nuncio. Nuncio is a very, very weird place. I like it a lot. The lore here is so strange, which obviously you're going to find out because we're going to sit here for a little while. Yay! Okay. Actually, where do we want to go next? I never asked. Okay, so the prize that became a curse. Mr. Sachs produces a jeweled bird. The thief thought it would bring her riches. Perhaps it would. But when the gracious widow and the cheery man both covet what you stole, mere money ceases to be a concern. To offend one or make the enemy an enemy of the other, she sought a third way, a moment of inspiration that came too late. We want no part in this feud. Settle it. So take this to the smugglers of the Isle of Cats to favor the widow, or the chairman's agent on Mutton Island. That's tough, actually. From fallen London, Londoners will know who the chairman and the widow are. They're two basically crime lords. Although, oh yeah, no, the agents of those two. Because I was like, wait a second, they're both in London. But that makes a lot more sense. The widow, I don't like at all. She's cold-hearted biatch. And the cheery man he's kind of like kind, but he'd also kill you in an instant. He's actually, you'll learn, he's the one who we're working for with the blind bruiser. So I think that I've been on his good side for a while. I'll drop it off at Mutton Island. Nuncio, here we go. Taciturn functionaries walk the docks in the uniforms of postmen. An enormous crowned statue casts a chilling shadow. The shadow gleams with rat's eyes. The ceaseless chittering rolls like the tide. Go to the Postman's Tavern, explore the beach, or assemble a port report. Let's do the port report first. Surface details. There's the statue in the middle of the island. That's hard to miss. There's the way everyone wears a uniform and the way they call each other by their rank in the postal service. There's the way the authorities refer to regulations. There's the jargon, that curious habit of referring to any used thing as cancelled, as though the entire world were made of stamps. You write about vestigial bureaucracy and about trappings of order retained far from home. Let's explore the beach, actually. There's a long stretch of shale, dotted with washed-up kegs and barrels and smaller flotsam. Shifty goings. The rocks slip and slither underfoot, but you keep your balance. Every lap of the wave drags up some new letter or parcel. The face of the water is dotted with them as far as you can see in this blackness, carried by a powerful current. Argue with the man holding the broom. He's determined. He keeps shoving letters back into the sea. The sea keeps shoving them back. Is this the man with the broom? Both of you still won't achieve anything, but maybe he'd feel better. Rescue a parcel that won't stop meowing. Extraordinary. There aren't even any air holes. Let's argue with him first. I'm curious. No luck. It's pointless, of course. You try to tell him this, shouting into the shore wind. He stops and stares at you with blind eyes for a minute or two, then returns to his occupation. Can he even see the messages he is so desperate to send back into the water? Study the odd currents here. The water that brings flotsam ashore does not follow the usual patterns. Oh, squinting and guesswork. It's no use. A few hours of exploration, of squinting out at the sea and flinging shiny floats into the water produced no better understanding than before. Let's try it again. On all sides, you make a complete circuit of the island. The whole shoreline is alike, all of it covered in debris, all of it washing steadily inland from every direction. Not the work of some directional current. It's more as though the whole underseas were draining into Nuncio. Except, so of course, that force did not affect your ship when it came this way. It is not ships leaving. Evidently, it only works on the post. I'm pretty sure there's another way you can actually... No, guess not. Let's go back. Go to the Postman's Tavern. The Inky Blotter, it's called. The sign doesn't look like much. Warmer inside than it looks. Faces turn in your direction, but no one seems surprised to have a new arrival on the island. Like lit by two roaring fires, one at either end of the room. The bartender is in postman's uniform, like almost all of the patrons. A noseless postman inspector called Blunt Thomas. A noseless postal inspector called Blunt Thomas delivers the drinks, clears tables, stacks the firewood. Listen on postman tall tales. Fishermen brag about the fish that got away. Postmen brag about hard deliveries. Amazing what you can get for a penny stamp. Delicate bottles lowered down chimneys on a rope. Do not fold under any circumstances. Letters curled through a narrow slot. Rattling, groaning crates brought back to the same address every day for 22 days running. The windows they pried open, the servants they bribed, and delivery surcharges they paid out of their own salaries just to get rid of one more packet. It's hard to tell who they hate more, the senders of the mail or the recipients. Stands to reason if the message were a welcome one, they'd tell the other fellow in person, reflects the hairless postwoman. Ask why the local currency consists of rats. 2 string of rats for a pint of ale, 3 strings for wine, 5 for the tolerable brandy under the bar. Scarcity is not an issue. The hairless postman at the other end of the bar smiles mirthlessly. Perhaps it's just the lack of eyebrows that does it. Long enough carrying these things around, you get in the habit. Then she tells you that if you stay out late enough, you'll see some of the postmen making a procession to the center of the statue, stringing up rats around the statue like Yuletide decorations, in prayer to an ancient deity of this place. From the coffee and choking elsewhere in the pub, you can tell this story gets often told to newcomers. Oh, ask why the hairless woman is hairless. Oh, I don't know. Legacy of some interesting explosive package? No, she says. Curt, not pleased you asked. Still had eyebrows when I came to Nuncio. The postman on the next bench diverts you, speaking in a low tone. Lots of people find habits when they can't be delivering the post anymore. This one has a plucking habit. Best learn not to notice. You glance up. The hairless postwoman is still glaring at you. Oh. Ask about the big statue in the center of the island. If that were a guidebook for visitors, if there were a guidebook for visitors, it would have to be the first entry. The monumental postman. Oh, that. It's us, isn't it? Sort of the spirit of the island. Most of them don't seem too troubled for more than an explanation than that. Though the hairless postwoman tells you it didn't always look like a fallen Londoner postman at all. He used to have a different face and a more old-fashioned outfit. Ask them how they occupy their days. There must be more to it than this. Dead letter office. Big building, center town, hard to miss. You can work there too if you want. It's not clear whether this is a generous offer or a threat. Oh, okay. Um, Ask why the letters wash ashore here. Maybe one of them will know. The pull. It's the pull, they tell you. Dead letters are like so many iron filings drawn to Nuncio. See for yourself, suggests the hairless postwoman. Go down to the shore, collect up a bunch of what's washed here, and you'll feel it soon enough. Saves time for the rest of us, says another voice. Apparently, beach scavenging is a civic duty there hereabouts, like working in the dead letter office. So I'm familiar with how the pull works. I'm accepted by the locals. Um, Ask why the postman came here. You don't get the impression they're making a holiday out of it. Their stories have different beginnings. Boredom, frustration, a fellow who was overwhelmed by guilt after a missed delivery. But they always end the same way. Undeliverable letters and parcels accumulating months and years. Attempts to ignore the undeliverable, to shove it back into a desk, or carry it in the bottom of a bag. An increasing preoccupation with these items. Finally, a decision. To meet the compulsion, go to Nuncio and be rid at last of the remnants. The postman did not bring dead letters to Nuncio. The letters bring the postman. Very interesting. Ask to borrow a uniform. If you're to fit in here, you'll need one. Look, but don't touch. They're polite, even apologetic about your request. You're welcome here, and welcome to take shifts at the dead letter office. But you cannot wear the uniform unless you were a postal employee back in London. Regulations. Blunt Thomas lets you have a look at his uniform jacket at least. Neat stitching, gilded buttons, a thin but dignified circle of braid on the collar. Inside, a patch that goes over the heart, stitched with 6 red letters. You can't read it, but it makes the eyes itch and your scalp feel like burning. Okay. I'm gonna go down to the beach. Collect material for the dead letter office. Sure. This is where all the floatsman belongs, so it can be sorted. Will of its own. You make your way along the shores with the big sack. Many of the envelopes are too damp to read. Their addresses permanently lost. But a surprising number are still legible. There's also parcels. Here and there, a crate, a message in a wine bottle, a sealed cask that has bobbed up out of a shipwreck. Your sack ought to get heavy with all these contents, but it pulls upwards and away, straining inland toward the dead letter office like an unmanageable dog. Oh my god. Um, I'm not going to try that. So study the odd currents here. I could have sworn there was another option. Take soundings. Try a shift at the dead letter office. There's a sign of a cancelled stamp over the door. Extensive tour. Blunt Thomas takes you around the office, a small collection room where those retrieving letters may state their business. A much larger set of back offices where newly arrived letters and parcels are collected and sorted. A damp, briny smell that never goes away, presumably because somebody in the parcels spent time in the water before they arrived here. In the back room is a machine manned ratted by a post rat, a ratus faber, but in a pinstriped hat. It shovels sludge damp letters into the machine's hopper, and then they come out dried, cleaned, pressed, and sorted into slots by size and quality of paper. I'm working shifts time. One has various possible occupations here. None can be described as fast-paced. Feed your undeliverable machines into the letters into the sorting machine. 52 categories. After prolonged whirring, the machine begins to distribute. 7 invitations edged in gilt into the correspondence of the aristocracy slot. 2 oversized parcels, probably containing books, into the books tray. 1 stamped bronze tablet that drops with a clang into a bin marked First City. The postal rat watches all this with an air of satisfaction. um, ask the postal rat for the key to the basement. You've worked here long enough, and you might need one. Okay. No trouble at all. He's surprised by the request. Most postmen don't like it down there. No one ever asks for a key, but he'll cut you a new one. Just be careful in there, and come out if you start to feel wrong. Okay. Um, Converse with the postal rat. Why does it make a machine like this one back in London? Might lead to fewer dead letters in the first place. Regulations. Oh no, 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 no. That wouldn't be permitted at all. There are strict rules about the initial handling and sorting of the post. An experimental machine might mangle the letters. It's only the dead material that's unimportant enough to be trusted with a Ratusfaber. His voice isn't bitter, but he twists the coil so hard it springs sideways out of the machine and pings off your shoe. Oh. Um, Open the back doors. Open the back rooms. The key is warm in your pocket. Deeper and deeper. You'd expected a few shelves of supplies, more files of letters a few years older. No, it's a pit, so deep that lantern light does not show the bottom. A spiral walkway descends along its wall, and that spiral opens wider as it goes, as if you were looking through the narrow end of a very large shell. Lining this wall are shelves and nooks, unevenly sized. Some are a few inches square and contain single scrolls of papyrus. Others support crates bigger than coffins. They are made of woolly fungus, grown to meet requirements. There are no marks of carpentry or any of the postal rat's handiwork. 3 turns down the spiral, and you feel you can't breathe. Time to leave. You can come back later. Maybe. Oh my god. Tell the postal rat about your basement findings. Gives you something to. Oh, or make a solidarity. Interesting. Gives you something to chat about. Troubled, but not surprised. They say that's been there since before we came. Before there was Londoners in the Neath. Before there was a dead letters office, there was someone else. And they built the last layer on top of what was there before, and so on. When you press him further, he says, I've been down there. Didn't like it much, but I wanted to test my machine. Thought if it could handle some of the very old dead letters, it would be a good sign, you know? Evidence the machine was in working order, good, strong sorting categories, and so forth. He pauses. There's letters down there that'll set your hair on fire if you so much as look at them. See the bald patch on my left leg? That wasn't a machine accident, oh no. That singed right off as soon as I put my nose into one of them letters. Jeez. I can either descend with mirrors, which is insane because it's tough, or with candles and a flare. I will do neither. I'll make a study of what goes on in the back room because Why not? Oh, intricate. Make a study of what goes on in the background. Intricate restorations. The postal rat explains his activities willingly. What he says would doubtless be stimulating to anyone with a taste for gears and finely tuned wires. Hey, that's me. But you follow very little. Oh, end your shift. Oh well. And yeah, explore the beach. I'm curious. Yeah, here it is. Take soundings. Perhaps there's some evidence of the great hollowness that lies underneath these shores. Strike depth below. Striking the ground causes the stones to shift and rattle. It's hard to hear at first anything more than that. But if you try long enough and strike hard enough, the whole beach shivers like the surface of a drum. The flotsam levers quiver and line themselves in concentric circles around the point of impact. The next wave brings ashore 3 or 4 times the usual freight. Dear God, what is happening here? What is this place? Next episode, I will push off. We will see what's out there. I gotta find polythreme if I want my kneecaps intact. Hello, people.